Welcome everyone to Getting Started with Seesaw for grades 3 through 5. I'm so excited to have you with me here tonight. And if you are here participating, whether it's live or recorded, I do need you to have a second device ready to go to participate. So if you could please make sure you have downloaded the Seesaw class app on your second device if you're using a device that supports apps, or you can get that from anywhere you would normally download apps on your device. If you are joining with a Chromebook or a laptop, then you do want to be with us on the Seesaw website, which is app.seesaw.me. If it is a laptop, Seesaw works best with Chrome, Firefox, and Microsoft Edge browsers. So if you could just ensure that you have those browsers ready to go. All right, if you are here and you're like, I would love to get professional development credit for this, how in the world can that happen? Well, if you're watching live, you will have certificates emailed to you. If you are watching in a recording, listen for a code that I will deliver orally during the session, and then you'll get to fill out the certificate. So if you, again, are with me live, certificates will be emailed to you. If you are watching a recording, then you'll be listening for a code that you can get a certificate. Again, welcome. You're here because you're trying to figure out how in the world do I get started with amazing Seesaw for my 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade classroom. And I'm here to share that with you. My name is Kara Brem. I am a Seesaw ambassador. I taught 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade for 19 years. I got a little wild hair and went to teach 7th grade math. And I'm coming to you from Cary, North Carolina, right outside of the state capital of Raleigh. Feel free to connect with me on Twitter at Mrs. Brem Tweets, or also on Instagram at Mrs. Brem Math. And I would love to connect and see what you're doing and what your students are doing, and even answer any questions for you along the way. Our plan for today is to have an introduction to what Seesaw is. So many of you are brand new, just getting started. We're going to talk about what Seesaw is. We will learn about the creative tools that are already built into Seesaw for you and your students. You will be a student in my class, so you will explore as a student on that second device, which is why it was so important to have that second device ready to go. And then I will share with you classroom activity ideas that you could take and use with your students in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade tomorrow. If you have questions, we can certainly answer questions for you. Live viewers can ask in the webinar question box. And if you are watching during a recording, again, feel free to connect on social media, reach out, and we'll share more ways that you can get your questions answered later. But we will share what your next steps will be after the getting started. Let's talk about Seesaw. Seesaw is an amazing platform that empowers student learning and allows students to really deeply share their learning and their learning process. Not only is student work captured in portfolios, but teachers are given formative insights and families can be connected to have that family communication. Seesaw allows students to unlock their creative thinking. For what I love about it is that it's for all subjects, all students, all grades, and it works just seamlessly for unleashing that creative thinking. Students have these creative, powerful tools that they can use to really show their learning in the best way that works for them. And teachers are able to really gain such strong insights about where their students are and where they need to take them next. So what are the things that they're doing really well, and where can we move them to? Seesaw allows for built-in differentiation and immediate feedback for students, which really results in a fabulous end result. And Seesaw also provides some inspiration and ideas for you ready to go in the Seesaw activity library. There's already waiting for you thousands and thousands of engaging activities ready to go, ready to search by grade level, just for your 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students. So how does it work? Well, students use these intuitive creative tools to capture their learning, demonstrate their learning, and put it all in a portfolio. Teachers get these insights when they see the student work, and so they're able to understand what students need without doing extra work. And we'll talk more about that as we go along the way. And families can be connected to see their own child's work, leave comments in their own child's work, and encourage their own child along the way as well. I want to share with you a student example, and this is directly from my 4th grade classroom. We were doing a mini lesson on similes and metaphors, but we were focusing on similes at the moment. And I did my mini lesson, had poetry books for my students, and paired them up and said, okay, now I want you to go find similes and use Seesaw to do it. And this is what we got.
There are 2 similes in this section. The first one is the Ankylosaurus was built like a tank. And the second one was its hide was a fortress as sturdy as steel. The first one is a simile because it uses like to compare 2 things. The second one is a simile because it uses as to compare 2 things.
So in less than 30 seconds, not only am I able to see, does this partner pair, because I had them paired up, it was just right after our mini lesson, do they understand similes? And if they do, can I take them to the next level? Do I need to hit on that again? What do they need? And so, you're able to get those quick formative insights. I am not here to give you one more thing to add to your list, because as a teacher, I totally understand that it is full, like overflowing full. But I'm here to give you tools to enhance what you're already doing and have your students enhance what they're already sharing with you. Seesaw is going to work great no matter what your classroom setup is with technology, whether you have shared devices, one-on-one devices. Students are bringing their phones, so you're not sure, or they're bringing their own device and you're not sure what's going to actually walk in the door. The fabulous thing about it is that it works on any device that might walk in your door or that you get through your PTA grants or whatever it might be, and that everything I'm sharing with you today is from Seesaw's free version. So know that everything I'm sharing with you is from Seesaw's free version and will work on any device that you would have in your classroom. So I want to give you an inside glance into what Seesaw looks like. So when you go there in just a moment, you'll have an idea. What you can see is that Seesaw is split into 2 parts. See the plus sign at the top, think of that as like if I draw down, I have a part on the right hand side that shows student portfolio lists. And what you're viewing here is a teacher view, and I'll get you logged in as a student and you'll get to compare them. But this is showing all the students in my class. I like to think of it like a roster or roll. On the left hand side is a feed of all the student work. So the most recent addition would be at the top. I can scroll down and then I would have an additional feed from the past. So you can see the most recent post first and then later posts if I scroll down. I like to think of the left side as a timeline. There's also on the teacher view a wrench in the upper right hand corner. That wrench or spanner tool is your settings as the teacher. Now students don't have all of this, but you'll get to see what it looks like being a student in just a minute. I'm going to go into our class into a live view just so you can see. This is a class you're going to join in just a moment. I promise you I'll walk you through. So if you just kind of hang out and be patient here. Again, I can see that I'm logged in as a teacher because it says teacher here. When you're logged in as a student, it will say student, and the view will look very, very similar. As the teacher, I have that wrench or spanner tool, and I can click on it. That gives me all of my settings that I might want for my class, student settings, family settings, so many different kinds of settings. And you have that autonomy to do what you like because you're the teacher, right? Here's my list of students. Notice my list of students are letters of the alphabet. Like your name is not in this list. And that's for our professional development purposes. This is a professional development class for teachers just like you. I put my name in here. Again, my name is Kara. I put my name in here just so you can see what it would look like if you had a student name in the list. But you'll see ABCs in here. So if your name is Kara, we share a name, but you can put K for Kara. You could put I could pick B for my last name. I say maybe I want to be a Z, and I've never been a Z before. You could be Z today. Today's your lucky day, but we'll talk more about that in a moment. On the left-hand side, you can see that I have that feed of everything that teachers have submitted. So you won't see any student work submitted on the left. This is all teacher response to previous professional development that I've done with other teachers just like you. So we'll come back to this in a moment. And I'm excited to have you here ready to jump in as a student. And I know so many of you are having that second device ready to go. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. We're going to have super easy student sign in, and I do need you to make sure that you are signing in with me as a student. Now, older students may be using school email or Google to sign into Seesaw. You will not enter an email today. You will not enter an email today. I'm saying that again. You will not enter an email today. You are not entering through email or Google. You're going to enter, which is what I did with my fourth graders. You're going to enter using what you can see under this arrow, a student scanning a QR code. And that's the way we're going to sign in. And again, I did that with my fourth graders. We'll talk more about that in a moment, but that's how you'll be signing in today. Some of you maybe got super excited and already logged in as a teacher. So we're going to practice, but we're going to make sure you're logged out. I promise I'll get everyone signed in. Do not panic. If you're already excited and signed in as a teacher, please click on your teacher name in the upper left-hand corner. That's your profile icon. From there, a gear will pop up once you click your teacher name. Tap on that gear or wheel, and then a menu will pop up. If you could please tap on sign out, because we need you to sign out as a teacher. Again, tap your teacher name, tap that gear or wheel, and tap sign out. Everyone should be ready to be a student right here. So this is what your screen should look like right now on your second device. Your original device should have me. You could still hear me talking. If you are going to be joining us through a recording and are interested in the professional development certificate to get credit for your hours, the first part of the code is 726. Again, that's 726. Feel free to rewind the recording if you missed that or need to grab a pencil or pen to write that down. One last time, 726. Here's what Seesaw puts together for teachers. And this is a sign, a poster you can hang in your classroom. I laminated it. I was using the QR code sign in for my fourth graders because we did not have email or Google logins at the time. So it just steps you through the process. We're going to do that together right now. You are going to tap on I'm a student. So if everyone right now on their second device can tap on I'm a student. Then please tap on scan code. Please choose scan code. If you have any questions through this login process, I do have Angela out there answering some questions for our live viewers in the webinar question box. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Angela. We're not going to be raising our hand today. We're just answering questions in the question box. But we're going to try to go slow and keep you with me. So I'm a student, scan code. No one is entering email or Google login. A built-in QR code reader might pop up, and if you've never used Seesaw on your device and consider this for your classroom as well, then you want to allow camera and microphone access or usage on your device. So you might have a little pop-up that says, do you want to allow camera? Do you want to allow the microphone? You would always want to say yes, 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 because there's some amazing things we can do with that with Seesaw. So depending on your device, tablets, phones might look like what you see on the left. Chromebooks, websites would look like what you see on the right, but is all very similar and very user-friendly. This is where you're going to scan this code. So from here, you would want to scan the code that you see. Then what you would want to do is you would want to see my face for the login, and you'll see a picture of me. I've already shown you what that screen would look like when you saw a picture of me there. But what I'm asking is if you have a device where you're like, how do I turn the camera around? Don't worry about turning the camera, like a Chromebook, for example. I tell my students, turn the device. So if you turn the device, the reader is going to pick up that code. If you're on a device that does not have a camera enabled, the text code is listed at the bottom for my live viewers. I am also putting it right now into the chat box, so that text code is in there. That text code is only good for 1 hour. So if you're joining on a recording like YouTube, that text code will not work for you. You'll need to scan the code. All right, we should all see this picture, right? So you should see that you're a student, and you should see student, you should see the list, ABCs, because that's our class, and you should see my image, which is the same image that you see in front of you right now. So we are all in, we are all ready to roll, and I am excited to share our very first creative tool, which is the photo tool. Seesaw has a built-in camera, and that built-in camera is pretty amazing, I do have to say. You already know your students can take photos at any age these days, right? And they love their selfies for sure. But the camera's built in, super student friendly, and we're going to be using this camera and this photo tool to do our first activity. So we're going to be taking a photo by tapping on the camera, and I'll walk you through that in just a second. Just watch me now. I'm going to tap on that camera or photo tool, and then I'm going to add some words. So today, live with me, you're going to take a picture of something around you. It could even be a picture of you, like here's a picture of me. Then you're going to add 2 or 3 words to describe your picture. So what you would do, again, is you would tap that photo tool, and we'll work through this in a second. Don't worry. I promise to give you more directions than just what you see. And then we're going to add some add some words to describe our picture. In the upper right-hand corner, when I'm done with that, I would tap on that green check, and a list of student names are going to come up. Now, because again, this is a professional development class for adults, and we're not ever sure who's going to show up from who signs up. So what we do is use the letters of the alphabet. Your students' names would be listed here, and they would select their name. Just like you're going to select any letter you want, you know, A for Angela, K for Kara, D for David, whatever you would choose. You want to always be a Z, be a Z. This is just for practice purposes today. And when you're done with that, again, you're going to click that green check. So this is how we're going to get there to start doing it. On your home screen, your main screen, right near the title of our course, Getting Started with Seesaw, there is a green add button, a green plus button. So what I'd like for you to do is tap on that green add button right now. Your screen will pop up, so the green add button, you're going to take a picture of something, anything. You know, yourself, you want to take a picture of this screen, take a picture of this screen. And then you're going to tap on that T button to add some labels or text that would describe yourself or your picture, your image. Tap on that check, pick a letter from the alphabet that would best fit you, and then tap on that check again. So this is what you're going to do right now, ready to roll live with us. I'm going to play a little bit of music and give you some time to work, and then we're going to check back in. Let's get started. All right, if you are still submitting your work, that is completely totally fine. Please continue to do so. Not a problem at all, but for time purposes, I'm going to move on because I want to show you how this looks from a teacher view. So please still stay logged in as a student. We're going to play a little bit more. And here my teacher view, and if you're still adding, please do. That actually makes this a little bit better because you can see we're live right now recording this, but you can see all of these posts. And then my numbers keep changing, right? So you see the numbers changing, and across the bottom of my screen as the teacher, when I'm looking at this, I can see how many unapproved posts there are. What that means is in my wrench or spanner tool settings, I have it turned on where I have to, as the teacher, see every single post that my students submit so that I can review them and approve them to be in their journal, approve them to get filed away, so to speak, in their journal. And when oh, look how cute the kitty is, right? So I can see they follow directions. I'm going to click on that green check and add it to the journal. I love the picture. I love those labels. Great job following directions. Click the green check. I love it. I mean, y'all are just amazing. Look at this. Thank you so much. I love, love, love what I see. And you can see right above me, there's this new button. That means since I tapped on that red bar, that approve to review, other people have submitted, other students have submitted their work. So thank you, Jessica, love it. And what I'm doing as the teacher is I'm going through and saying, are they following directions? You know, this might be a quick time to assess if someone didn't follow the directions, or, oh no, is this really what you meant to put? You can have that conversation with student C. Oh, did you really mean to, you know, do what you did? And I love it. I think it's great. We're here to play and learn, and that's what this is about. Again, you can see there are new posts here. Again, I can click on that. If I notice someone didn't do something, I could have that conversation as well. Oh, maybe you took the picture, but you got so excited and forgot to add those labeled the text. Across the bottom, you can see that I could click this approve all. What that means is I click this, I want to approve every single one of these 49 items without ever looking at a single one. If I click approve all, then they're all approved and in their journals without me ever reviewing them. And it's taking just a moment there. There we go. It approved everything that was hanging around out there. Got another one here because they must have submitted right after I did that. Look at that awesome picture. And I'm keep going back to my class journal to then see what it would look like. And my most recent post would be at the top. And as I scroll down, I have others. If I were under review and I didn't want it for whatever reason, oh no, I want to delete that item. Well, no, I don't. I just accidentally clicked it. Thank goodness this comes in and kind of saves the day here. So as the teacher, you have that ability to see all of it. Again, if I do approve all, I'm not looking at anyone's. I'm just, you know, approving them. And I will say, as a 4th grade teacher and a 7th grade teacher using Seesaw, I never once used the approve all for my students. Yes, I review, yes, I approve them, but I approve each and every one individually so that I can ensure that they're following directions. You as a teacher can make that decision yourself. Just sharing what I've done. So we have that flow going on here. Now, how in the world are you going to use it in your classroom, right? Well, start simple. Use the photo tool. First couple days you use it in your classroom, which doesn't have to be the first couple days of school, but the first couple days you use it in your classroom, capture learning in the moment. Here was a moment we were having a little fall fun, and I was taking some pictures and using the label tool, simply posting to the student journal. That was it. But then hand it off to your students and say, okay, well, we did these beginning of the year goal setting, they drew their pictures, they hand wrote their goals, it was hanging on the wall. All right, take a picture of it, right? And add it in there. What are you doing in science with your live animals? What are you doing in social studies with your group work? So think about how you could document things with the camera tool, and more importantly, how your students can document their learning with the camera tool. The second creative tool that we're going to take a look at is that drawing tool. And the drawing tool is where students are taking a picture, but instead of putting labels on with, you know, typing, they're actually writing directly on top of the image itself. So here's just a real quick example of patterns that we did right to start up our pattern unit. It was like a scavenger hunt. Go take pictures around the room, show me the patterns. I can clearly see they get it, right? There were all kinds of things that I had submitted. This is an example. We were learning about nonfiction text features, and each one of the nonfiction text features we learned about, I had students take a picture of it where they found it in a book of their choice, And then they use the drawing tool to tell me a little bit more about it. So this student thought she was pretty clever because she actually, if you click on this when you get the link, she did take the picture. She's showing me a caption, and you can tell there's a blue circle around here. This is the caption tool. She described the caption with a caption, so she thought she was clever. Just wanted to share that. Some other classroom ideas that you might have. I'm going to actually click on this and play this one for you. This is an example from my classroom. I'll play it first and tell you a little bit about it.
This is my area perimeter robot. It has a hat, a head, 2 arms, 2 legs, and a body.
Okay, so we can go on for 30 more seconds and you can listen to her tell a little bit more about the robot. But this is where we made these robots. Everything was made paper, pencil, markers, in the classroom. They were hung up on the wall, and as I was hanging them up on the wall, I was thinking I should really be checking to make sure that they're getting this area and perimeter stuff, right? And I'm thinking, when am I going to do that? My planning time. Do I have time to stay after school? I really need to check this before we move on to see if they're understanding the concept. Well, I had students take picture, right? So they used the photo tool, took the picture. They used the drawing tool, and when they were drawing, they recorded their voice at the same time. So I got to hear them explain a little bit. Again, 30 seconds, not that long of a time, but later that evening, after they took the photos, not me, after they did the work, not me, when I was on my own time, when I had time, I was able to spot check, pause it, play it, pause it, and see, did they understand area? Did they understand perimeter? And I picked certain body parts of the robot to spot check to say, okay, here we go. We're going to try this. Are they getting it? Are they understanding it? And that was a way for me to have that formative insight of what's going on with my students. And it was on my time. So the next day when I came in, I knew who to approach, how to approach it, and knew that, there were only a handful that really needed to hit it again. Reading fluency. Take a picture of a page in the book, have them record their voice. We were doing stop and jot strategy, and she was using a sticky note in the book, but she took a picture of it, and then if you click and listen to it, you'll hear her reading it, and you can hear she's a fluent reader. I don't need to spend time with her like I might someone who really needs that reading support. Seesaw gives incredible opportunity for student feedback and reflection. So again, here's the photo tool being used with the label and the drawing. But down at the bottom, you can see my response. I'm Mrs. Brem. My response to what my student, whose name is Kieran, what she was saying about, she chose to annotate it because it didn't make sense. And we were learning about annotations. And so I was saying, well, why? And she was saying, well, it confused me. And then right underneath that is Chad. Well, Chad is her father who is connected, and he's able to add in as well. So that whole takes a village thing, right? Well, if we're all working together, we're all providing encouragement, constructive criticism, suggestions for improvement, and students are able to even engage in that as well, it makes that learning even more powerful. Book projects or any project, social studies projects, science projects, math projects, if you're teaching a special subject, you're doing Spanish or you're doing art, anything that you're doing can be captured with Seesaw. Imagine what you could do by just taking a picture and adding voice, just taking a picture, adding labels, taking a picture, adding voice and drawing. So many amazing things. So we're going to create with photo and voice right now because the photo tool is powerful within itself. You add a layer of voice on top of that, and wow, like seriously, wow, you will have just such a deeper understanding of your students' needs and learning. So what we're going to do right now is take a photo of something near you that brings you joy. You look at it and you're like, oh, joy, right? So you're excited. Maybe it's even this screen, but you're so filled with joy to be here to learn about Seesaw. I want you to snap a picture, and I want you to add your voice by tapping on the microphone. The last activity we tapped on that text or label tool. Now we're going to tap on the microphone, and I promise we won't hear you record. It will be captured, but we won't hear it live. So you'll then tap on that green check, choose a letter of the alphabet that represents your first name or any letter you want. This is just practice. So here we go. We're ready. You're going to tap on that green add button right now and follow these simple steps. Tap on that green add button, take the photo just like you did before, tap on the microphone and record your voice telling why that picture brings you joy. Green check, choose a letter, green check. And I'm going to play some music while we play on Seesaw. Okay, if you are still recording, one or two simple sentences are perfectly fine. Tap that green check when you're done recording. Add your click on the letter that represents your name, green check again, and it's in for waiting for teacher approval. So if you don't see it, it's because it's waiting for teacher approval. All right, I'm going to show you a few other tools that I know that you are going to use a lot with your third, fourth, and fifth grade students. So what we have here are the link tool and the upload tool. And you might have noticed those tools earlier when you were, clicking on that photo tool. But the link tool and the upload tool are popular tools for upper elementary students. And one of the ways that you can use the link tool is if you're creating in a different app, for example, or on a different website, for example, and your end product, like Right Reader, we created rock cycle books after learning about that in science. So at the very end of their book creation, they were able to grab the link to their rock cycle book and from Right Reader and add it into Seesaw by using that link tool. They were learning about coding and Made with Code, and they grabbed the link from their project and added it into Seesaw. And then for Made with Code, they also put a reflection of why they thought that it was challenging to them and how it would be helpful to learn and how they learned from it. So it was a good reflection tool as well by using a caption in addition to the link. And then Chatterpix, they're creating in Chatterpix, and students love Chatterpix. They have so much fun making the mouth move. We were learning about explorers, capturing that, and at the end of Chatterpix, they give you a link, and instead of it just dying in Chatterpix, they're able to share it in Seesaw and then have that to share with their families and share with their friends and share with other students in their classroom as well. So that that link tool was something that I used quite a bit with my fourth graders and even in my middle school room as well. And this one for sure, we had at my school Google student accounts. So students were able to add files directly from their Google Drive, and upper elementary students most especially would really benefit from this if you have a Google Drive. If you don't have a Google Drive, the device that your student is on, you can select directly from the computer and pull up photos, PDF, you have all of that available to you to drop it into your Seesaw portfolio. So if you're a Google school and you have Google Slides students are creating, add them into Seesaw, right? You can certainly upload them right from the Google Drive directly into Seesaw so that the teacher can look at them and view them, but students can, parents can, all of that can happen. Google Docs, they're writing their pourquoi tale, and then I have them upload the Google Doc and then even record their voice to read it out loud, which is really a good editing strategy and proofreading strategy for them as well. So Love that revision, don't you? But some people say, especially at this age in upper elementary, third, fourth, and fifth, I'm using Google Classroom. Why Seesaw? Seesaw really takes the learning further, and certainly there is a place for Google Classroom. I like to think of Google Classroom as a really great place to put all of the information I want to share out to my students directly. I want to share out a whole bunch of websites. I want to share out a whole bunch of resources. I'm going to put it in Google Classroom. Seesaw is a really great way to capture that learning for students to show and share their thinking and share it and get that support and that feedback from others. So you get a more complete picture of your student with using Seesaw, but Google Classroom certainly has its place for that dissemination of information as well. When you take a look at this, let's see if my slide's going to advance here. I think I'm stuck. Oh, I might have gone too far. You also have, families that can be engaged in Seesaw that cannot be engaged in your Google Classroom. So you have that family support, that family structure, seeing the window into your classroom and supporting that student learning all the while. And, Seesaw already has built-in inspiration and ideas from your classroom. So when you get these slides and you take a look at them, live viewers, it will be emailed to you after this webinar, but you'll be able to click on that one pager and see how that might apply to your situation, your school situation. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about Seesaw on Google, there are activities available, there are videos available, especially Chromebooks. So many of you said, yes, I'm on Chromebooks with my students. And that's available as well for you to grab some videos and learn about how to use with Chromebooks. All right. This is a really big part of Seesaw, and the ability to connect families to Seesaw was probably and has probably been, of the 4 years I've used it in my classroom, both elementary, 4th grade and 7th grade, was the best thing that I've done. For sure. Connecting families where families use a completely different app that Seesaw has created, that's the Seesaw Family App. Now you're logged in on your second device or even as a teacher into the class app, but this is just for families. Seesaw families can also visit on the website through app.seesaw.me, and when they log in, they're logging in as a family member. And families are connected only to their child's Seesaw account. Think of this like they get a key through this connection. Seesaw creates these family invitations so you can print them out on paper, available in 10 different languages. That's awesome, right? And then you could also get the sample email and copy, paste, change it, whatever you like. But once families are connected to their own child's account, they see their own child's post. So when you were clicking the letter K, because your name is Kara, right? You were clicking on the K, submitting under K. Only Kara's parents are going to see that because they're connected and have this special key into Kara's classroom. They won't see the whole list like you see everyone in the class. They won't see that. But as their teacher, you'll be able to send all the parents' announcements. You could send all the parents' newsletters, quick reminders about field trips. I used to do a video of the field trip form, flip it over on the back. It was just amazing. So many things available. I have one more thing for you to do today for me as a student in my classroom, and I appreciate your attentiveness and your eagerness to participate today. You are going to complete an exit ticket. So what I would like for you to do is to, since we already kind of know the flow a little bit, tap that plus sign. Then you have a choice. You can tap on the video tool, or you can tap on the note tool and kind of play with those if you like. If you don't like it, hit the back button, right? Pick one and tell us, what are you excited to try with Seesaw in your classroom? When you're done with that, you can click on the green check, choose your name or your letter from the matches your name or whatever letter you'd like from the list, and tap on that green check to submit for teacher approval. I'm going to play some music so you can get started on this. Let's give it a whirl. All right, if you are finishing up, please feel free to finish up. I really appreciate all of your participation today. I want to show you very quickly for anyone who is joining me here today using the free Seesaw class, I want to show you very quickly how you can create your own class. And this is just the abbreviated quick version. You can create more than one class with the free version. So what I have up here is my name, that's my teacher name, and I am going to click on my teacher name. And if sometimes it scrolls down for me if I have a whole bunch like I do, but you can see right underneath my teacher name at the very top of this menu, it says create a new class. Now, if I have more than one class, this is going to pop up. If I've never created a class before, it's going to prompt me to do all of this the first time I ever sign up for Seesaw. So you might not have to go directly there. But when you're creating your class, you're going to determine if you want to import your whole class list from Google Classroom. So maybe your school already sets up a Google Classroom for you. You can import the whole class list. I'm not set up to a Google Classroom. This is on my personal account, not my school account. But if I clicked on that, it's super easy. Just it pops right in. It populates for you. Amazing, right? Or I can name my class something different. If it's Google Classroom, it's going to give the same name. You can change that later if you want, but the same name as whatever your Google Classroom was set up with. So this is my test class, and we'll pick 3rd grade, and I'll click that green check to submit it. I love how that green check is always the same just to submit. Now, every time you start a new class, whether you've been using it for 4 years like me, or you are brand new, it's going to give you this pop-up video as soon as you enter your first item by clicking on this, right, and posting to journal. This is where you can browse all those activities that are ready or send an announcement to families once they're connected. You know, all of that's available there. But to add students, at the bottom here, you see this plus students or add students. I would simply click on that. I would decide, do I want the students to sign into Seesaw using their Google account or email address? Well, if I do, I'm going to say, well, yeah, I do. That would be really great if they could do that because I have that at my school. And then it tells you exactly what to have them do, and it gives you step by step. I can even email all my students with those directions. So my class is already set up then, and my students would populate in this list if that was the case once they were signed up. I can add students individually as well. If I use the QR code, I can do that and add them in if I want that type of class setup. And QR code is what we use to log in. Notice you logged in, and once you were in there, you're in there. Someone asked a question if students might choose someone else's name from the list. It does happen, but not often, as often as you think. So give them a little bit more credit than maybe you're giving them. And sometimes accidents happen. We all have them, but students are really good about sharing. But if you want more information on setting them up, all of this information is here on getting started and setting them up with your students, and even how to get your students to join with email and Google sign-in as well. But I recommend that you try posting to a journal with a sample student when you first get yourself started. So when you click on post a student journal as a teacher, a sample student will be set up, and I would use that and keep that there as a just your example. You never know when you want to demo to the class, and you just say, well, I'm the sample student, and use that. Now, you already went through getting started part 1 with me, but part 2 is available as well. And in part 2, we'll get more into browsing the activity library and having that parent communication and going through step by step that getting started guide for teachers. So if you're interested in that, the connections are here for you. We would love for you to join at that one, specifically for grades 3rd, 4th, and 5th, so you can really see how it would best fit in your classroom. If you do create your class using the class QR code like I did, please make sure it is not ever posted on social media. Keep it inside your classroom, not out in the hallway, and cover it with a Post-it note, so when it's hanging and you're taking pictures of the amazing things you're doing in your classroom, maybe posting them on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or wherever you might be posting them, that code is covered, because that, like you saw, is the key to get into a class. If you have help needs, certainly reach out at help.seesaw.me. Help ticket can be submitted, or you can search many resources. I mean, just type in a keyword. Common questions are asked down here, so there's a variety of things. And don't forget about all of the getting started guides that are available for you, so specific to 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, and that can be really tailored to what you need. There is that free professional development. You're joining us for that today here. We also have recordings available on our YouTube channel, so you can join there anytime you'd like, but we'd love to have you come back for more. Privacy is certainly a priority for us, so if you have or your administration has privacy concerns, please visit our Privacy Center. And if you are live with us today or watching us and a survey comes up, we do value your input and your feedback. That's how we make our PD and our app better for your use. If you've not already connected with the Seesaw community, please reach out and connect on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Amazing things are being shared by teachers every single day. And again, if you would like professional development certificates, please make sure that you have the first 3 digits I shared earlier in the webinar, and the last 3 digits are 840. So the last 3 digits are 840. Thank you so much for joining us today. I greatly appreciate your time and hope to connect with you.